I've heard that voice before. Third level, second door along.
Is that you, Mai Tai?
Should I stop recording here?
Do you know what? The place serves a purpose.
No, there's a purpose in everything.
It's well looked after, and everybody's safe.
And that's the most important thing, though, isn't it?
I'm not even sure what we're talking about.
Travel Lodge.
Travel Lodge.
Yes.
I thought we were talking about the Premier Inn.
Well, that's another one. Definitely a couple of shout-outs for some sponsors there.
So listen, it's been a year already past for the Business Babble.
It has been a year. Do you know what? The year has actually went quite quickly.
This should be astonishingly quick.
It has, especially when we first started this, from an idea from yourself, then get us all in, then building this, whatever you call this.
This is called a studio. It's a podcast studio.
Podcast studio, that's it. God, just rewinding back. And, we set out our goals because we were preaching to everybody else about setting out your goals, having a plan, attack. I think we've not got exactly there, but we've taken necessary steps going forward.
Well, we've went from nothing to this now.
I know.
We're almost 30 episodes in, which is...
It's not bad.
New cameras as well.
Some upgrading tech, which was in our plan, in our roadmap.
We managed to get, we may as well say it, Alaka Bank. They've managed to come on board with us, which was fantastic. And we've actually turned away a few sponsors just because we felt they weren't the right sponsors. How hard is that in business to actually turn away money? Because
it's important.
Well, it is. And, we're practicing what we're preaching. That's for sure. And I think when I'm listening back to some of the podcast, you're actually picking up because you forget sometimes the things that you're saying and even things that you are saying because you're focused at the very start. Like, I hope it'll come across quite well. Then realise, after the 6 episodes, you go...
That we've not recorded any of it.
We've not recorded that.
Oh, the sound is rubbish.
Fuck it, you just go... Well, we've intentionally left even the bad recordings in there just because it was a lesson for us as well. So you're still a little bit wounded by them, but we'll just get better and better along the way.
And how's the year been in general, Wicus? As a business owner, how have you found the year? I
think 2024 has been an exceptionally hard year for a lot of business owners in different industries, in different areas. I think there's more of that in 2025. If you really take some time to reflect on where did your business come from, are your clients growing? Are your clients not growing? Are your customers growing? Are they not growing? Where's your money going to come from in the new year? You'll find that 2024 has been a very difficult year. You don't necessarily see it now, but you see it upon reflection going, sure, I wish I could have done that differently. I should have done that better. But it's about learning. Business is about learning. It's about managing risk and then extracting the same reward from it. But if I had to say to you, what are the key highlights from 2024, Michael, what would you say?
It's definitely been a challenging year, especially from after summer. There was definitely a dip. The pinch was felt.
Last quarter.
Yeah, by a lot of people. But it's how you react to that. And I know we went on a bit about being reactive to certain situations. And when your back's against the wall, that's when, things get done then. And that's kind of how it was. And that was through, like most of the businesses were like that. We had the golf studios now gone as well, which was a big one. And that was due to the circumstances, the building just deteriorating by the landlord into an absolute state that we just had to get that out of there. We've just not managed to get that up and running again yet. It might never get back up and running, but it was good while it lasted.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's a good lesson. How would you reflect back on the year, Johnny? What would you say are the highs and the lows?
To be honest with you, I remember more of the lows because that's the ones that you focus on about changing. You never want to leave the end of the year saying I should have, would have, could have. But I think any business, mine's included, you have to take the blows, you have to reflect on them, and you have to find another way around it. And one of the biggest things that I'm looking at for next year, and hopefully this resonates with some of the other listeners, your sales funnel. You need to get really good at it. So if let's take the trades for instance, if you're an electrician, for instance, and you're growing your business, you'll only grow your business through sales funnels. It's sales and marketing. So you would then have to think about employing a Sparky, an electrician, and then, excuse me, you then need to understand marketing, sales, read the books, watch YouTube videos, because that is primarily your job. The moment you're out of that, you're just running the business. You're not doing anything. You're just working on a job. You need to be opening up the sales funnels, figuring out your marketing strategies, and being bigger, being better, and being brave about it. You've got to do that. And I think for next year, or just now, I'm not waiting until January. It's about getting better jobs in, opening up more sales funnels, because there is loads of work out there. I mean, ridiculous amounts of work out there. It's just,
how do you get into that? I think that's just
setting yourself apart.
I think for me, when I look at, because very, very often when I look from the outside in, I've got a unique perspective. But one of the things that I see is nobody's got a really good client journey, and nobody really understands what's their client's problems, their needs, and their wants. And it's in that order: problem, need, want. Want is the weakest one out of it. I want a new iPhone. That's just on my circumstances. But if I have an iPhone that's about falling apart, I probably need a new one if you use it as a business tool. So if you can understand what problems you're solving for your clients, or what your clients need, and more importantly, what they would want. And the next step in that is, where do they go to? So do your clients go online? Do they talk to their friends? How do you do that? If you can start mapping that client journey, then you are, I would say, well away from other people. I learned an interesting statistics. You guys know I run. If you can run 5 kilometers in less than 31 minutes and 36 seconds, you're in the top 2% of the world's population.
Well, we need to try that.
I'll do in 30. It's a competition.
It's a lot more difficult than you think.
Listen, we were at the gym yesterday, and I was like, competition, you're on. But Mike's being sensible. He's got his sensible hat on. No, you need to take your time. You need to lift a little bit. I'm like, this feels...
Try not to break him, man.
I feel this is too weak.
I
this is too light.
But that would have been easy to break you.
Aye. Oh, because you could attack my competitiveness.
Aye.
You see,
how's this lad lifting that? I'll do it. But then when I realised when I was lifting just one of the weights off, I'm like, jeez.
Yeah.
I won't let him see the weakness in me.
and I think that is it. It's about business. That's exactly that thing is, don't bite off more than you can chew. Because we often do. And you're right in saying marketing. I think if you're a business owner, you need to play to your strengths, because you might not be a natural marketer. So surround yourself. You don't have to be the executor, but you need to understand the philosophies and the principles and how that applies to your business. But more importantly than anything, you need to understand what metrics are you measuring. And I had an interesting conversation about that with somebody. Is lots of data. So you can analyze a lot of data, but the only data that really matters is how many appointments am I booking in that diary? And that's where the problem in the business is. He's not booking enough appointments in the diary. So then if you work it back, you could say, okay, well, you know what? I need to set more appointments. Why is my conversion rate so low?
So here's one thing. I was listening to Simon Sinek. Big shout out to him if he's listening.
Simon, would you like to come on as a guest?
Of course he would. Honestly, he'd run here. And this is about, excuse me, my throat. The marketing and your sales, and then making sure you're getting enough clients phoning you, is about your sales proposition to them, the value that you're creating. And we have said this before, but sometimes you need it rinsed and repeated. So Simon actually did an analogy on homeless people. And what he said was, going past a homeless person, we've all done it, but it's that given, you feel good, the good factor, feel good factor when you throw a few pennies in, a couple of pound in, it makes you feel good. Some people just walk past and don't read the sign, or, they don't feel guilty about it. That's what it is. But he was really interested about the sign. So a lot of them will say, I'm a war veteran, I've got 12 kids. Sometimes they throw the wee dog in there to make, they're trying to sell.
The emotional aspect.
And it's all me, look at me, I've got this, help me.
Yeah.
But it's the same in the corporate world as well, for you having your own business. Oh, we're the biggest, we're the best, we're the fastest, we've got the best CRM system, we've got the best people, it's all me. But what was really interesting, when he got a a homeless person. He says, I want to do an analogy. I want to change your sign. So he changed the sign, and I actually wrote this down because I didn't want to forget this because it was really, really powerful. So this girl was getting about $20 a day, $30 a day. And just with changing her sign, right, instead of being me, he changed the sign and saying, if you choose to give, please consider me in the future. I'm a legitimate cause. And she got $40 within 2 hours. Now, she ran away after that because she realised that she only needed $30 a day. But in 2 hours, just by changing the wording, right, opposed to me, I want, that was enough. So just say that. If you choose to give, please consider me in the future. I'm a legitimate cause. I went, wow. So think about that in your business. What you're actually trying to create, the value, opposed to saying, look at us, come and see us. Create the value and be sincere about it. You'd be amazed how just a couple of words can change.
So dumb it down just a little bit for me. If you talk about in the business, what are we talking about? Are we talking about moving away from these are the products and services more towards this is
100%
the value that I can create for you?
You're trying to create the value for people. And, the old saying, people buy from people. They want to see your authenticity. They want to see the background of you, who you are, what you're all about. Do they trust you? Do they want to get to know you? Do they like you? All these things. And what problem are you solving for people? You just have to look at some of the, it's a bit crazy with everybody buying. And I'm going to say the story again. So, do you know I was said in previous episodes? Now, I don't want to name and shame somebody. I'm not going to do that. But I went to a clothing outlet yesterday.
Is it the same one that we've spoken about before?
Be the boss, Johnny.
So rightly and wrongly, there was a couple of things there, right? So I went in, same thing happened again. No one came up, and it fucking boils my piss when that happens, right?
It's just not a nice thing.
It's just so frustrating. It's the basics. Get the bloody basics right. So I went through the shop. I went right to the very end, came back again, back and forward. There was 3 of them all standing around one little table, chin wagging. And then I go, nah, fuck this. I'm had enough. I went, oh, excuse me, mate. I was just kind of waiting to see how long it would take for somebody to actually see me. He was assistant manager. Got a shirt, I was telling him I need to try this on. Right, okay, away, tried it on. I looked absolutely disgusting in it, right?
Oh, I thought you were going to say you look absolutely phenomenal.
Unfortunately, I maybe in a black bin liner. But came back, went, it didn't fit me. It felt a bit disgusting.
So what did he do?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. At that point, he went, all right, no worries. He left and went, oh my God, that was an opportunity for you to actually say, like, what is your size? Is blue your colour? What else are you thinking about? There was none of that. Now, that could have been bad sales training from his back, but he was an assistant manager. So then I walked around the shop again to give him a second chance. So I walked around the shop. Now, bear in mind, I've been in there for about 20 minutes just browsing. So you could, logic would tell you 35% in these types of places are just browsing, they're going to go away. But it needs that person to go and make them feel good about asking certain questions, not even about the clothes, but, you Christmas shopping, how are you prepared for Christmas yet? You got kids? All the basics, absolute basics. So I thought, to hell with this, I'm going to have to speak to him. So I went, are you the manager? He went, no, I'm the assistant manager. So I had a chat with him and said, look, this is what I'm doing. This is what I do in shops, and I go around. And he went, Hugo Boss don't have mystery shoppers I went to do, right? And then he actually called over the assistant manager. Oh, we don't have a... No, we don't know. I'm like, oh my God, man, you are missing the whole point here. So I decided to speak very quietly to him. I said, it's about the feeling that you're giving me. The feeling is absolutely shocking. And then he backtracked. He went on, well, not backtracked. He actually, sorry, I'm harping on because it really annoys me. We're very busy. We treat everybody lovely. We're all lovely people. I went, I've not said anything about your personality, mate. I'm giving you the opportunity to give you. He went, oh, that's subjective. That's your opinion. I went, and then until I actually said to him, well, do you know about a month and a half ago here? I came in here 2 months ago, and the girl had just started for 2 weeks. She's from South Africa. His face just went white. He went, oh, this guy's telling the truth. I went, the exact same thing happened again. I said, there's bad training here. And the fact that you just stood back and just gave me excuse after excuse after excuse, you've not considered my feelings. Yes, it's subjective, it's my opinion, but you're still not taking ownership of it. So I put my hand out, put your hand to their bollocks. They'll always shake your hand. I went, it's been a pleasure meeting you. What's your name? And he asked me my name. I went, I'm not telling you my name, but you have a wonderful Christmas. And I walked off. I went, fucking wet wipe. Fucking absolute, let me get this off my chest. Wet wipe. Hugo Boss need to start hiring the right people because you're losing thousands of pounds on having fuckwits working in your shop.
Who do you think's to blame? The people or the organisation?
Organisation. It starts from the top.
Why? Why is the organisation to blame?
Because they're hiring the wrong people.
Maybe not the wrong people. They're just the wrong training or no lack of.
They're hiring the wrong people because that is a shit attitude. An assistant manager having an attitude like that, then you know what happened after that? They were all just chin wagging.
I'm like,
oh my God, I'm going to put a fucking bomb in this place.
That's the thing that got to you most, is the attitude was wrong. It wasn't but retail has changed because people don't go out to ask you if you need help because they're so worried you're going to say no. Okay? But there's so many opportunities. They talk about, we're going to train you on customer service. I want to see what that training involves in customer service. I'm always blown away when people go, we give the best customer service. What does that mean? How do you train somebody on customer service? When you try it on the shirt, customer service is, you know what, sir, let me look for another shirt for you. What is it that you like? Take you along the journey. You're right. It's basics. It is really basics. If you do the basics and the fundamentals really, really well, the rest will fall into place. But large organizations they don't look at training. They don't look at how to equip their staff. They don't give them the guidelines saying, hey, we want to create a fantastic customer experience. Would you go back to Hugo Boss now?
Oh, well, there's no way I'm going back, and I don't think I'll get back in.
Not to that store.
But the one in Glasgow, and sorry to harp on about this one, but the one in Glasgow, tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. Made you feel great. I bought something not too expensive because that is quite an expensive shop, but it made me feel welcomed. He made me feel valued.
Yeah.
And it was just conversations. And I think Glaswegians in a whole, I feel have just got that aura about them anyway. Would I travel to Glasgow if I really want something from Hugo Boss? 100%. Would I go to Edinburgh one? Not a chance in hell.
I think that's the thing is it's if you look back on 2024, if you look back, how many times were you made feel valued? How many people, how many times have you valued somebody and how do you express that value? Mm-hmm. And in business, it's really, really important. I would say is that feeling that when somebody buys from you, have you ever had buyer's remorse?
Yes.
Where you buy something and you go, I should never have bought this. And then you take it back.
Yeah, I bought a TV bracket yesterday. I wish I never.
Wow. I'm so curious. Please tell me why.
It was the wrong one, and I knew I shouldn't have bought it, but I did.
Exactly.
I should have got another one. I'm like, but the amount of labour that was involved in getting that up now, and then I'm going to damage the board, and I'll have to fix the board, then I have to get another one. But then I'm like, I'm not happy with the fitting of that. I don't like how it's. I'm like, oh.
So you just settled, and that's what we do. Well. Are you going to take it off today? Because I've now said something.
I had the receipt that I took out when I left the house at 5:30 this morning. I left the receipt there, so I'll go to that place and get that changed over. And I've left the receipt in the house. I'm like, But yeah, I do. I have that. Sometimes I have that quite a bit. Remorse.
And I think if you take people on a journey with you, it's not just about, we spoke about the homeless person. It's not just about me. No. It's about what can you give and how can you take people on a journey with you. And I think in 2024, a lot of that fell away. I think it was a really difficult year for a lot of businesses. If you look at the number of redundancies, if you look at the number of insolvencies, and 2025, if you think it's going to be better, it's going to be a lot more difficult than 2024. So you really need to be at the top of your game. What that means, nobody's got any idea. Anybody that can tell you, it's...
I'll tell you what it means. Unless Mike does.
You can go first. Like ours, we've really focused again this year. It's one of the things. You've got through a hard year, so you need to take some of that as a pat on the back.
Yeah, consolidation. Yeah, you've made it another year.
Yeah.
Tick the box.
We've got some good targets. I've seen some good positive shoots of growth and stuff in the businesses at the end of the year. There's been a bit of a push at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. And we're just taking that into next year. Just looking again at what your targets are, what you're trying to achieve. We've done all of that. And yeah, so we've broke off now. We try and get 2 weeks off, apart from maybe emergencies and certain things. And that gives everybody a break, come back re-energised, and we're good to go again. Lots of trips planned this year as well. Got to have things to look forward to.
As you say, your mini retirements.
Many retirements I have.
With no breakages this time.
I hope not. Although if there is, it means we've had a bit of an adventure.
I'm just going to wrap myself in bubble wrap.
Aye.
The two of you should maybe not go on holiday
Throw my-
together.
throw my-
Well, we don't
No, no, no.
always, but the ones we do are quite dangerous.
I know, that's just my point. I don't know if it's the holiday that's dangerous or the participants that are dangerous on the holiday.
We've only got one rule, and we go on holiday together.
Aye, stay away from me.
Stay away from Johnny. As long as you stay away, there's a distance you need to just keep clear.
What is it now? A broken rib? A broken shoulder or collarbone?
For 3 broken ribs, broken shoulder, although that was his own doing.
Aye, and I wished it was because I was going down the mountain at 100 mile an hour. But you would be lucky if I was going 1 mile an hour. Bang! Oh!
There was a point when John come down the mountain and then forgot how to stop.
I remember that one.
That was
And
hard.
I crashed into him.
Aye.
Right everybody's watching. And I just come down the mountain, I'm like, yeah, this is great, cool. Look at everybody watching me. And I went, oh fuck, how do you stop? I just crashed I just crashed
Oh, that is Michael.
a group.
And that's kind of how 24 went, 2024.
That's how it started off, and that was pretty much.
Oh, I think for anybody listening, give yourself a pat on the back because you've got through 2024. But figure out all the things that you want to achieve this year, whether it be the same things as last year, the holidays, where you want to take the kids, where you want to take your partner, the car you want to drive. Just have the plan, and we do harp on about this a lot, but you do need to write it out. You need to visualise it. You need to see it. You actually, I know it sounds a bit corny, but you need to taste that. Like, I'm going to be at that point by that time. People want to get healthier, fitter. Put dates in the diary to when you're going to achieve those goals. And it's all great beating yourself up a little bit just to inspire you on, but you need to stop that after a period of time. You need to just keep going and don't be too negative about it. Accept what's happened and move forward.
Learn from it.
Learn from it.
And that's where I get energised as well. That's where I find a lot of energy, is when you're making these plans, because you can see, as you're doing it as you go, you can see that you've actually achieved stuff.
Yeah.
The things that you were looking to try and get done. If you've not done them all, fair enough, but there's a lot that you have done.
Yeah, but you need to break down your milestones and your markers. I mean, we spoke about it earlier on.
Yep.
This is the time of the year where you overindulge big Christmases, you scoff boxes of quality street or tubs of quality streets or roses. I know I'm guilty of that, but story for another day. But most people come to the end of the year and they go, oh, I want to live a healthier lifestyle, or I want to lose weight. That's just a wish. I promise you it's a wish. It'll never happen. Or they go, this is going to be the year where I'm going to just change my lifestyle. It's a wish. It means absolutely nothing. If you're really serious about it, you should say, okay, you know what? This is the year I'm going to be healthier. I want to lose 10 kilograms over the course of the year. 10 kilograms over the course of the year. Maybe 800 grams a month. It's 200 grams a week. Can you do that? Mm-hmm. That's easy, because now it's a milestone. What do you need to do? Well, I eat too many chocolates or drink too many fizzy cold drinks. Let's cut it out for a week and see if we actually do that. Small changes, never big things. Small changes that you make, big milestones. So in the first month, you're down 1 kilo. Big pat on the back. That's what we're talking about goals. It's about breaking it down into bite-sized chunks. So you can actually, when you get there, you go, wow, I've done quite well. Round of applause for me. Those are the things that you need to start looking at for 2025. I think small victories, not big things, small victories. Hey, we've survived another month. We've generated some more cash. I brought on 2 new clients. Small victories will be what 2025 will be about for businesses. I think it is going to be a difficult year, but it is what you make of it. Really, it is what you make of it. There's going to be adversity every year. Adversity is there every year. Difficulty is there every year.
There's always opportunities there.
Always opportunities. It's how you perceive that glass. Half full or half empty.
So for next year, okay, I'll put you on the spot. What businesses will be successful? What domain are going to be successful? Putting you on the spot there, eh? Okay, I'm putting you on the spot. Think.
So
Give me one business that'll always do well.
Well, construction will always do well, in a sense of, unless there's a bit of a crash and they stop building, but people will always need that.
Hairdressers will always do
always need
well.
your nails done.
Tires will always do well. I don't look at industry. I look at the guy at the top.
Right.
What does he look for? Is he the guy that goes, you know what, this could be an opportunity? So the MD of Hugo Boss, if you're listening, first thing I would do is I would invest in good customer service training and just treating everybody that experience, that same experience everywhere, because that's what you remember. You remember the experience. So I think that could be the worst industry that you're in. Okay, it could be any industry that you're in. It's what you see the guy at the top and what you're doing to create those opportunities.
Right. So business, you're talking about construction, you're talking about hairdressers. They'll always do well because everyone needs their haircut. Right. Tick. Amazon will still do well because people, it's logistics.
Do you know
people
how
are always buying.
Sorry, do you know how long
online.
it takes Amazon to make $100 million in sales?
I don't know. Tell me.
Something like an hour and 34 minutes. Do you know the only one that can beat them?
Yeah.
Walmart, hour and 16 minutes.
Wow.
It's something like that. If you look at how with their market capitalization and everything. So it's interesting.
But it's not guarantees though, because they have to move with the times and.
Oh, of course they do. Of course they do. But
they invest.
There's a need.
Amazon is what they've done is they've changed the face of retail because it's all about that convenience and getting it now and getting it tomorrow and that type of thing. But you're right, they have to evolve constantly. So if you look at a client of mine does some catering for Amazon, and I don't know if you know this, but Jeff Bezos has got a direct line to him if you've got a complaint about Amazon, and she hadn't been paid. She fired off the email to him at 9:27. At 9:37, the money was in her account.
Wow.
10 minutes.
Bloody hell. That's very good.
So I'm saying to you that you need to see how you're treating your clients. If you've got payment terms, okay, and you can't make the 30 days, don't bury your head in the sand. Pick up the phone on day number 15 and say, hey guys, I can't pay you on 30, but I'm going to pay you on 40 days, 50 days. Take responsibility, be proactive. Because those are going to be the guys that's going to be surviving. Use your 30-day terms, but pay on 30 days because you have to remember they also have a business.
Yeah, I think it's having that awareness and the respect. You know, we're all in the same boat.
We're all in the same boat. We all need to help one another.
That's it. Collaboration might even be something for next year. You might want to collaborate with somebody else in the same sector,
same industry.
Share a burden, help each other, and you might find it's. If you keep doing the exact same thing,
you're going to get there.
You're going to get the same result. So, if you want a different result, change, evolve, adapt.
But we
move a different direction.
We say that. Everybody says that. But you know how hard change is? Because people don't want to really change. They say it, hard. But they don't really want to change. My experience is, again, I want to lose weight this year. Okay, that's great. What are you prepared to change? Are you prepared to get up early in the morning to go to the gym 3 times a week? Are you prepared to make those changes in your lifestyle? And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. It comes down to the individual. It comes down to the discipline they have in their mind. Personal. Do you want to grow or do you want to stagnate?
I heard a lot of people this year, and it's a shame because you can attempt to try and inspire people and give them a put an arm around them, but a lot of people I've known just went, fuck this, I can't do this anymore. I'm just going to get a job. You're like, okay, you want to try and do this? Nah, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. And there is a reality to that, but there is, and I've said it, but because I'm not always as articulated as you, I'm just authentic me.
Thank you.
You got to have that inner fuck you.
You got to have
that inner drive. But I know there's times
ambition.
where you just, Ross alluded to it as well. Ross McArthur when he was on, sometimes sitting there going, oh, what have I done? What have I done? We all have the moments. But there's that inner drive, that inner, I'm not giving up.
Look, there is a very, very thin line between ego and, I'm trying to find the right word, and reality, ego and reality, because sometimes ego drives you to keep on going when you should actually throw in the towel. I'm dealing with one at the moment where ego is keeping them alive. That's all it is. They should make the hardest decision, but it's difficult. But you're right, do you have inner, and I think Ross McArthur did say that, is we've forgotten how to deal with adversity. We're not as resilient as we used to be. We're not as resilient as we used to be. We can throw out words like that, but how resilient are we really? We're not.
Well, I watched, the wife and I, we watched a film Blitz, and it was about the war with Britain and how they took the kids away on a train to get them into safety, and everybody was getting bombed in London.
Narnia then.
What's that?
Narnia.
Narnia.
That's the younger version.
And, it was harrowing. It was a decent enough film. That wasn't that long ago.
No.
It wasn't that long ago. And those our ancestors had to go through and put up with, that's why they had that bit of resilience when they were all working, and it brought everybody together as well. Kids growing up with hardly anything, but they had that camaraderie, they got to play, they could do things, they could find things to do. Parents, they were hard done by, but they were all in the same boat together, and they worked together. And you fast track it to now. I mean, it was only 50, 60 years ago we had started having a hot shower. And I think it was Jimmy Carr that said that. You go into the shower in the morning. I might be wrong with the time scale, but the method is you're going into a shower, hot water. We've only had this for generally it's about 50 years. We've had hot water. It's the small things that you take for granted. And this whole resilience, in business and in life, sometimes you actually have to go, thank you.
Yeah, you go.
Thank you for what I've got just now. And it might be, we're all different. Some of us may have a big house, a small house. At the end of the day, it's just a house. It's just a roof over your head. Some of us has a big fancy car. Again, it's a car.
So get you from A to B.
And this is, again, looking at ego. People living their life based on other people's opinions. The mums and dads. I've got a young kid now through the DYW. And he's like, my mum wants me to stay on. I said, what do you want? I don't want to stay on. I don't like school. And so you've got to play that one a bit. We'll find the reasons why. Your mum just wants the best for you. Your dad wants the best for you. But at the end of the day, it's you. It feels the way you feel. They've got awareness of where you're going in life and, the trials and tribulations, but you've got to feel them and you've got to feel in order to steer the path to which was going to be better for you anyway. So I'm trying to give them the topics of conversations to chat about. But yeah, it's so important not to always listen to other people because they don't feel what you feel. And you have to go and take that step. Sometimes it's your wife that's telling you stuff to do. Well, sorry, sometimes you don't have to listen to them. And as much as that's difficult, your husbands don't listen to them. You feel a certain way. I know this is
it's controversial,
but it's
right, yeah.
But you have to own your mistakes. You have to own the steps that you're taking going forward. And especially in business, there'll be a lot of people that you're talking to your mate in the pub that works 4 hours a week at the biscuit factory, right? He might be a nice person, but he doesn't know anything about business. Speak to other business owners because we are all there. And a lot of us do want to share some of the stories and help.
But even then, you need to just be careful what you take in and what you apply.
Of course, and also offloading as well to the certain people.
You just need to be discerning.
But you need to have the right people around you. There needs to be a core of people around you that you can trust and have conversations. And if this company's ready, then should be under, there should be people around him, accountants, whoever you sell, saying.
So I'm the third party that they've come. So they come to me at the end of this journey and saying, what can we do? And when you look at it objectively, the hard decision is you need to close this. Yeah. Because unless you're going to do X, Y, and Z, and the problem is your runway is too small. They don't have enough cash flow.
Yeah.
And that's the difficulty with a lot of businesses is that ego starts driving them and they think, no, it will get better. Okay, well, what are you doing to make it get better? What are you doing? Are you talking to the guys that you're owning money? And they have a board. So I'm quite surprised when you have a board around you. Somebody at the board needs to say and go, this is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
They don't. So it's that voice of reason sometimes.
Some people won't listen. Like one of the first directorship I had, the managing director, he wouldn't, yeah. Like the way the business was being run wasn't correct, and it was going down a massive hole, and they just could not tell him. Even with the lack of experience, you could see that things need to change, and his ego would not allow it. if anything, we need to get busier. And this animal that was created just got even bigger, more debt in the hole. Everything just got bigger. All the figures got bigger in the wrong way.
That's the thing is, we think if we throw more of the same at it, things will change. It doesn't. But sorry, Johnny, there's a thing that I say is, I have a lot to be thankful for, yet I'm thankful for so little. That is gratitude. We need to start practicing gratitude, really. If you have 2 cars, you're in the 1% of the world's wealthiest population. 1%.
Well, the whole thing with gratitude in the morning, waking up, and a lot of people have probably heard this. Like when I was younger, I went through some trials and tribulations and mental health stuff. And what I learned is being thankful every morning. It might just be 3 things that you're thankful for. Having the air in my lungs, having a bed, being able to brush my teeth, being able to walk. And I smile first thing in the morning. For anybody recording me, I look like an absolute weirdo in the morning. But I'm just sitting there and the first thing I do is smile, because you get that competitive advantage on your body just to release the dopamine or endorphins.
The endorphins, yeah.
And I will brush my teeth with my left hand, my opposite hand. Just muck about, and it becomes habits. But they're good habits. They're manageable habits as well. But it's so important, to see the glass half full. And even trials and tribulations of my business for the last quarter, it was extremely, extremely difficult. But you've got to see opportunities. You've got to keep your eyes open. You can't just bury your head in the sand. So, like, I'll explain this one for people. I went away to the bank, borrowed some money to get our cash flow. It's the first time, and I don't mind sharing it, first ever time in my business that I've had any problems with cash flow. First ever time.
Remember that, and for those people listening, a little bit of debt is good. Okay?
Exactly.
Now, let me explain to you why a little bit of debt is good. Okay, because when you take out 20, 30 grand with a bank and you pay them back for a year or 2 years, what the bank is seeing is that they can trust you with a little bit of money. Okay? So when you go to them and you ask for 100 grand, they're much more likely to give it to you because they can trust you. You've built up a track record.
Yep.
Whereas if you have no debt in your business and you go to the bank and you ask for 100 grand, they go, how can we trust him? Yeah? Because that's
But this is an education for people as well. Yeah. It's okay to borrow. I mean, most of the big companies have manageable debt. Do you think Google going, even though they're worth whatever billions or trillions, they still go and borrow money because they don't want to use their own capital reserves because they offset it against the tax?
Yeah. So
as long as you've got a plan on the cash flow.
There's no point. Cash flow is
just go run to the bank and get more debt.
Do you know what it is? It's having a plan.
It's having a plan. That much I know. We have a plan to get out of that. But it is to have, I'd rather have it and not need it than 100%. Need it and not have it. So it could sit there. And the terms are that we could pay it off quite quickly. So that's not the thing. Is about what a lot of people don't recognize is they think debt is bad. They think having a cash business or a business with no debt is actually bad for you. It's really bad for you. You need to have a manageable amount of debt. And that is what sits comfortably with you. Okay? Nobody can tell you what it is. But as long as you can pay them, then what you're doing is you're building a track record. You're building a mental picture for the bank. Because often when you need to go for money, okay, and you can't get it, you'll go to tier 2 and tier 3 lenders, and they'll be charging you 2.75% a month. And you'll be taking that because you need cash flow, but you'll never get out of that cycle. So it's just some food for thought for as you enter 2025.
You do need debt to create a credit file.
Absolutely.
Personally and as a business. So you definitely need to do that. But it just has to be manageable.
But
don't go daft.
Cash is king still.
I can't agree with you more. Did you know that Superdrug apparently is trying to go completely cashless? So I know they'll never get your custom.
Do not get me.
Boiled again.
You just started now. I was calm this morning. Then I go into this whole sales thing. I was calm again. This is ridiculous.
But it's still legal. Money is still legal tender. No. They have to accept it.
Well, when I was out shopping with the kids and the wife,
can you first tell us when you get to the counter, do you give discount for cash?
Right, so I do this a different way. Because now that I've realised, when I'm going to a bar and ordering drinks, because it happened at one of the establishments in Edinburgh, I got all the drinks. Now, I did see the small signs saying, no cash, just card payment. I went, I'll just ignore that one. And then I got all the drinks, and it came about, I remember the story, I think it was about 40 odd quid, and I handed over the cash. It's like I just shat in their kettle. They're like, what the hell's going on here?
Oh, again.
They didn't know. They were perplexed by it. I'm like, sorry, it's money. It's called money. I don't know if you've ever seen it before. It's money.
It's legal.
We don't take money. Have you not read the signs? I went, no, I'm half pished. What signs? I had to get the manager out, and they're all sitting there trying to work out. Went, oh, can you get your friends to pay by card? I went, where's my friends? They've left. They're away drinking this free drink possibly, but I don't want it for free. I want to give you the money because I'm genuine. I want to give you the money. So this whole song and dance, the manager had to pay for it in his card, then took my money. And then I thought, for a laugh, well, where's my change? Don't worry, let's just call it a tip. But I'm like, but it happened Neom, or whatever you call it, the fancy smelly place, when we're out. You get a lot, you get it all packaged up, looking lovely. I'm like, brilliant, got cash in my hand. That's what I'm paying with. Got it all dressed up. Now, I had a card, but at this point, it was principal for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
160 quid. I went, got the cash out. She went, oh no, would I take cash? She went, that's a shame. Put it on the desk. There you go. Just you sort it out. No, sir. No. I went, there you go. There's the stuff back then. And I went, fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They lost 160 quid for being fucking stupid.
Absolutely.
And it's not the girl's fault.
No, it's the organisation's fault.
And they turn around and say, oh, it's just convenient to have a card. It's been convenient to have cash for years.
Absolutely. How did we
years. And there was never a problem. Now, you get cashless, and I'm getting really angry now. You get rid of cash, you've got more risk of being debanked. Not that we're doing anything wrong, but you have more risk of that because the government will take full control. And didn't get one with that, but the government are not the best, are they? Then if you have a parking fine, don't worry about filling the paperwork. We've got your registration. We're just going to take the money out of your bank straight away. What? All these things can happen. Mortgage, rent, they're in full control. And now that is tyrannical behaviour, I think it is. It is, what do you call that again?
So are we closer to communism than you think we are?
Well, that's what it is. They're taking full control of everything. So it's like charging you to go to the toilet.
So when George Orwell wrote 1984, he wasn't that far away from a totalitarian world order.
But people, you do something in France, right? Maybe even Italy, France. They will kick off. When they tried to do with the trains, I think it was, they all just stopped working. No, we're not going to work. They all stopped because they all had that common goal. No, we're in charge, not the government. We pay you to run this. If you're not doing it right, we'll tell you. And government in Britain, oh my God, I've never met so many 70 million wet wipes. Get a grip. You're paying them. And we spoke earlier, yesterday, I'm still feeling the effects of it. And, I'm not coming across, I'm intelligent, I'm maybe losing my emotions here a bit, showing my emotions, but it's so obvious that it's fucked. But why are we not doing anything about it? Because we have a moan like this, the three of us. Don't show me where to go. I've spoke to MSPs, and they're wet wipes. 50 odd grand I'm giving you.
Which comes out of your taxes,
you see it. When I see the gyro chasers, I'm paying you for that. Get off your fat ass and go to work, or I'll find a job for you.
There are thinner ones.
There's thinner people. I can't work, won't work. And you're creating a breed of your kids going that. You're like,
your culture that you're creating.
What we're doing. Stop.
So I just planted seeds yesterday. That's all I done.
Well, obviously.
This will come out tomorrow.
So
listen, we're all very angry and negative, but on a positive note, you're looking to start a business next year. What advice are we giving these people for going into 2025? It can't all be doom and gloom.
No, it's not doom and gloom. It's wonderful.
2025 is probably the best time to start your business. I would say
this is what we want.
The 2025 is probably the best bit because when you start a business in difficult times, it'll survive through terrible times.
Yeah. If you got passion and a little bit of education, you'll do it. And you know what? If you want to start a business, speak to us, right? If you don't want to speak to me, that's fine. But if you want to start a business, you reach out to us, either through Messenger on Facebook. We've got an email address, but I don't do that.
It's info@tbb.ceo.
Email us if you want to ask more questions. If you want a steer in the right direction, speak to us. Hey, you never know, we might even get you on the podcast. There you go. There's an opportunity for you. But yes, get started, plan it out, speak to your missus, make sure your husband, get them on the path, what you're planning on doing, write it down, have some goals and wishes, and start educating yourself about it.
Good stuff. Much better.
What do we always say at the end of it?
Well, before we get to that, I think we just need to thank yourselves and myself.
No, we thank
for
one
all the
another.
efforts.
Thank you, Michael.
Andy for all his background help, and the guests for coming on. The guests have been amazing, actually. And
You've had a really good caliber of guests coming on. They share some valuable experience.
And of course, everyone for watching and listening.
Aye, and do we tell them what we're planning on doing next?
Can do.
So this is prototype. Prototype, would you call it? Going into the school?
That's not the right word, but you've thrown us now. You've said
But
that.
prototype this is a proof of concept.
Aye. So I just want to do a quick shout out to Queen Anne High School. They're going to be the first.
Where's Queen Anne High School based?
Well, I'd like to say America, like somewhere nice and hot. It's in Scotland, in Dunfermline. We are going to take 3 kids on a mentorship. We're going to help them. We're going to probably even create a business as well. But the 3 musketeers here, Michael, Wicus and myself, we're going to do that. So stay tuned to that. We're going to have loads of pictures, loads of videography. It'll be great to give back, basically. So
Be interesting. Nice wee journey.
it will be. And remember our strapline.
You go for it, John.
This
Is
your world. Shape it or someone else will.
and with that, we'd like to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas.
Indeed.
And a prosperous 2025.
Look forward to it.
Boom! Go get it, Tiger.